Podcast City Network.
This is Final Score, your number one podcast for sports news. Here are your hosts, Chris and Kevin.
All right, and I believe we are back up and running, boys. Here we go. We are on the Final Score Facebook page. Apparently, I started talking a little bit too much trash about the Tampa Bay Lightning, and therefore, Lightning had struck the residence of Mr. Chris Wilson, or close to, and basically said, George, stop talking that trash about that the Lightning are going to win this, or that the Dallas Stars are going to win this thing, so here's your damn feed, and they just went boom.
Yeah.
Freaking annihilated it right there.
That's
Chris, how you doing, bud? You all right over there? Nope, lost Chris. There he is.
Lightning still striking his
Lightning
house.
still striking your house, dude? Man, jeez.
That's what it feels like, man. I don't know what. Anytime I pick the Lightning to win anything, it just all backfires. Last time I picked them to sweep all the way to the Stanley Cup, they get swept, and now I try to pick them to win in 7, and what happens? Lightning hits in the area, takes out all the internet, and here we are on StreamYard doing Final Score.
Hey, man, we had to figure it out one way or another, man. We had to figure it out one way or another. What can I say?
I picked Lightning in 7, so the sky's opened up. It's sunshine up here. It's a little bit cold, though.
Yeah,
cold,
I
mean 71 degrees cold. I know other northern listeners are like, are you kidding me? But this is sweatshirt weather. I'm going to throw on my Detroit Lions sweatshirt after this, go catch the game. Hopefully,
there you go.
Catch the game. Catch being the key word, DeAndre Swift. Catch the damn ball. You're on the 1 yard line. We could have won. We could have beat the Bears. You drop it.
Shoulda, woulda,
Still shaking my head about that one.
I know, man. It's crazy. And if you want to go ahead and, boys, and I'll let the Final Score fans know, if you want to catch our Stanley Cup final update, it is on the other video that we got cut off on because I decided to go against my hockey mind and pick the Dallas Stars in 7 with Joe Pavelski doing a little deflection tip, getting it past, and I can say, FTB live long and prosper forever. But, it goes against my hockey mind, man. The Lightning are just so damn good right now, and they brought their lunch pail. As long as Steven Stamkos doesn't play, considering that he has 0 points in any Game 7s, then we're good to go. I think he should be there for moral support. He could be like Charlie Conway in Mighty Ducks 2, where he takes his jersey and he gives it to somebody else to play. He says, "No, you take my spot. I'm gonna be back there coaching."
Yeah, game 2 tomorrow night at 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. Sorry.
Yeah. And you know what, man? The Dallas Stars, they came out flying. They played a little bit looser, but Lightning made it easy. They made it easy for Khudobin to get those 35 saves. I don't feel like he was tested like he needed to be tested. But you know what, man? If this goes to a Game 7, which I believe it will, anything could freaking happen. If
the Lightning don't bring any physicality, it looks just like they're just getting outmatched. They're just getting beat up. Yeah,
they gotta bring it
all around. Yeah, they gotta up that physicality level.
My buddy's here, Ray. He's on here watching us, and I said it in the beginning. I said if the Lightning don't bring their nuts, they weren't gonna get far. They brought their nuts. They've gotten far, but now they gotta keep them. They gotta keep bringing them. So
otherwise Dallas is just gonna run right through them.
Otherwise, Dallas is gonna run right through them. Yeah. So that's just a quick recap of what we had going on earlier. Sorry that I picked the Stars in 7, going against my hockey mind that the Lightning are the better team, and Lightning struck and knocked out our whole damn system. So nothing we can do about that, but we are back up and running. We can get to the rest of the show. All right. So let's start talking. First off, let's go ahead and take a quick moment and talk about one of our sponsors, the Jacksonville Saints Australian Football Club. All right.
Yes. We'd like to take a moment and give a shout out to our sponsor of Final Score. They got on board with us a couple episodes ago. They're still on board with us, which is a good sign. Jacksonville Saints Australian Football Club. Make sure to check out all things Jacksonville Saints on Facebook at facebook.com/JacksSaintsUSAFL for the latest news, practice times, game info. Don't forget to hit the like and follow button while you're there. You can also contact them directly by emailing the team at JacksonvilleSaintsUSAFL@gmail.com for more info. Check it out. Those boys just got rocking and rolling with their practices again. Hope to have some matches here in the coming weeks.
Excellent. And now we also had already some football going on, and let's just get right into it, boys. We already had a Thursday night game where the Browns defeated the Bengals 35-30. A lot of talk on this game, which was mainly that Baker Mayfield needed to show up, and he did.
In a big way.
A big way.
Yep.
But let's also talk about, sure, he showed up with 219 yards and 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, but he couldn't show up like that if it wasn't for my boy who's on my fantasy team, Nick Chubb, with 124 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I really liked his when he gets hit, he keeps driving those legs and gets those yards after first contact, which was crucial in moving that offense up and down the field. But you got to keep in mind, this is against the Cincinnati Bengals. Like, I know the Browns fans are going to be puffing out their chests. Their head's too big to fit inside the room. But you're playing the Bengals. Come on now. You're still the Cleveland Browns. You play any type of talent in that division, you're going to get beat around.
Absolutely. And, I mean, come on. The Bengals put up 30 against this defense. I mean, that's
Joe Burrow's the real deal, but like I don't foresee him being having any type of longevity in the league if he has to pass 61 times every time out the gate. That's, way too much pressure on him. The Bengals really need to bring in a running back because Joe Mixon is not getting the job done. 16 carries, 46 yards, kind of abysmal there. But you're facing a very good front in Cleveland. You have Myles Garrett in there. So very good defensive front, very good in 8 in the box. Just stack it, let Joe Burrow try to pass you, try to beat you with the pass. And we see he has 1 fumble there, but 3 touchdown passes for the young rookie. A lot of promise there. I think Bengals finally hit right on their quarterback. They don't have that quarterback carousel going on there in Cincinnati like they have been in the past years.
No, definitely. And you're talking about that if the Cleveland Browns want to be successful, it doesn't start with Baker Mayfield. It starts with the 1-2 punch of Chubb and Hunt.
Yes.
And
Hunt impressed me the other night.
Definitely.
86 yards, 1 touchdown. I'll take that stat line all day.
Exactly.
I think they need to use him a little bit more in the passing game, though.
Oh, no, definitely. I would definitely agree. So we got a week 2 coming up, Kev. The Lightning keeps striking on Chris. We're sorry, bud. But we're going to keep rolling through for our Final Score fans and, everybody watching at Final Score. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the social media channels. We're also up and running on the Couch Dads group Facebook page. So definitely check us out there. Leave us some comments. Let us know how's it going. I know Ray's super mad down there or up there in Tampa right now. He's telling us that we did not stick to our game plan. They also manhandled us. He agreed with you, Kev, on bringing that physicality back to the forefront for the Stanley Cup final. So I know he's jacked. I'm jacked. It's Sunday, boys. It's Sunday. We're talking football.
And we are 2 hours away from kickoff.
That's right. Awesome. So let's get to it. We're going to do our quick take and pick to win. So we're going to throw up some games here. I want you to tell me, Kev, who you pick in this matchup and what is like one main key for that win to happen. So we're talking New York Football Giants at Chicago, and then Atlanta Falcons at Dallas. Who do you got in the first one?
Giants at Bears. If Trubisky plays like he did last week against the Lions in that comeback victory for the Bears will take this and go 2-0, which pains me to say that being a Detroit Lions fan. But Trubisky played good. He's not playing the Mitchell of the old. He's actually slinging that ball, playing a little bit loose. So the Bears, I see, can go 2-0 on this one against the Giants. Falcons and Cowboys. This one's a tough matchup. I like Gurley in this matchup going against, but again, the Cowboys front is very stout on stopping the run. They got a former UCF player in there up front for them playing nose. So I'm going to go Falcons on this one, but I think it's going to be a close game. I think this game is going to be a field goal difference. Leading into our next two games, I'm going to throw these at you, George. We got the Lions, my Detroit Lions, the Detroit Lions, taking on the Packers in Lambeau Field. And then the other matchup we got up in Nashville City, there on Broadway. We got Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Tennessee Titans. Who do you got in the Lions at Packers matchup?
I it's unfortunate, but I gotta tell you,
don't do
I'm
it.
Sorry.
Don't do
I'm
it.
sorry.
Don't pick the stinky cheese. Come on.
I gotta pick the stinky cheese. Aaron Rodgers. He looks like he's got something to prove right now. They draft this kid, Love, to be his successor, and he's like, I'm not done. I'm nowhere near being done. So I feel like he's got a chip on his shoulder. Devontae Adams is a complete threat every time. Marcus Scandels, who's been a very good summer buddy of Aaron Rodgers, he's also going to be coming forward as a number 2. So I got the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, too much of an X factor for Detroit. It's going to be a tough season for you, bud. I'm sorry to say. I think it's going to be a tough season.
I don't think we've ever had a good
Well,
season.
Welcome to being a Miami Dolphins fan or a Detroit Lions fan or, in Chris's case, a Philadelphia Flyers fan. It's tough.
I want to throw this at you. If we have Kenny Golladay in the lineup, because he's scratched again this week with that injury. I think it's his hamstring. Do we win this game with another threat out there at wide receiving? Because right now we're just relying on Danny Amendola and Marvin Jones Jr., and I don't think that's enough weapons that Stafford has his way.
It gives you more of a chance, but I still think that the Packers offense is just too prolific for you right now, and it could be another 44-40 type of score.
We're abysmal at Lambeau Field, though. We always have a chance in Ford Field, like we saw last. I mean, we should have beat the Bears. I'm sitting there gloating. I'm like, we're up 2 scores. We're good. We're sitting in the driver's seat. And the Bears just start chipping away at that lead. And me being a Lions fan, I was like, please don't do this to me again. Please don't do this. Somebody better put glue on DeAndre Swift's hands, though. Because if he ever gets a pass like that on the 1 yard line to win the game and he drops it again, you better leave Detroit. Just go ahead and pack up your bags and leave. We'll find
You're going to get him some Stickum. Get him some Stickum or something.
What is that
like
from? The replacement?
The Little Giants, man. Little Giants. Hot hands. Get him some Stickum. Yeah, of course.
He comes up from the replacements. His eyes are open. Coach, is this legal? His hands are
shut up.
Together.
It doesn't matter.
All right, Minshew Mania. Taking on Derrick Henry of the Titans. Who you got?
I got to say I got Tennessee. I think when it comes down to it, the running game is going to be the key here. Running game in Jacksonville is new. It's promising. I do like their kid, that rookie Robinson. I like him very much. He's a workhorse, but he is the next Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is now.
Yeah.
And I think that Tennessee will do a little bit better clock management than they did last game. They had a few hiccups. I think they learned from those mistakes, and they come out 2-0 this week.
I'm going to take the surprise on this one. I'm going to go with the Young Cats out of Jacksonville.
Oh, man.
Duval, 904.
904 with the Duval. Hey, you never know.
Youngest team in the NFL. You have no clue what's going to show up.
Yep.
Minshew with incredible passing percentage last week.
Accuracy is just unreal. Accuracy is unreal.
This kid is showing up with a chip on his shoulder. We are not tanking. We are not losing for Lawrence. We are going to compete. James Robinson out of Illinois State. Like, come on now. Everyone was picking the Jags to finish 32 out of 32 in the league. They come out. Granted, you give up a lot of yards. I think it was 400-plus yards to the Colts. So that's kind of the question mark there is, are we going to show up to stop a much bigger back out of Yulee, out of the town right next door to where I live, Derrick Henryville, Derrick Henrytown. And it seems like every time he plays up in Nashville against the Jaguars, he's just unleashing the dog, and he just, I mean, it still haunts
the NFL,
me that 99-yard run that he had against us a couple years back.
I'm sure it does.
Guys.
I'm sure it does. But you know what, man? This is still bubble football. Fans are limited, and don't be surprised that there's a few random teams that you completely counted out that all of a sudden, you know, they're playing so loose and they're playing with confidence and they're thinking this is a bubble year. We got nothing to lose but to let it all hang, and they all of a sudden win the division.
Yeah.
You know, Dallas Stars is an example in the NHL version. The Miami Heat in the NBA, everybody counted them out. Go Heat, by the way. They were like, oh, they're fifth. They'll lose to the Pacers. No. Oh, no, they'll lose to – no. Oh, they'll lose – yeah, they're going to win the whole damn thing.
Yeah. And we've seen, like, with these young cats, when they get into the league, if you give them any type of momentum moving forward in this new NFL, they are going to take it and run with it. And I think if Josh Allen and company can stop Derrick Henry at the line of scrimmage, the Jags will have a shot. And we've shown from last week against the Colts, we can score the ball with Gruden as our new offensive coordinator, which I love. I hate watching football when it's just a field goal kicking contest. So the Jags can actually put the ball in the end zone. DJ Chark and Keelan Cole, phenomenal combo we have right there.
I know you're stoked. Are you a Jacksonville Jaguars fan or a Detroit Lions fan, buddy? Because you are pumping their tires, dude. You are just
whoever's winning. Who's ever winning.
All right. Well, we got lots of games though. Let's go.
NFC, and then we have the AFC. My
there
NFC team's aligned. The AFC Jags. Our next two matchup: the Vikings taking on the Colts up there at Lucas Oil Stadium. Buffalo Bills taking on your Miami Dolphins.
That's right.
They're at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. So who do you got in the Vikings versus the Colts?
All right, well, let's talk Vikings-Colts. We do not like Phillip Rivers. You and I were talking about that briefly. Nothing makes us happier than to see Phillip Rivers lose.
Exactly.
So therefore, Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings, they get the W at Indy. I just don't think that Rivers and the system is going to succeed. I really think that he is a phenomenal quarterback that still has talent, but he is playing in an NFL that does not suit his skill set anymore.
Yeah, exactly. There's a reason why the Chargers got rid of him.
There's this gunslinger mentality is not conducive. Even though it's a more opened up NFL, the corners are better, the safeties are better. It's not about gunslinging, it's about misdirection.
No.
It's about, knowing when to take your shots and knowing when to, hand it off or dump or, to your checkdowns. And he doesn't do that.
And if you have Minnesota Vikings as your defense and fantasy, go ahead and lock them in starting on this one because I expect Mike Hughes, former UCF guy. I always got to pump the tires on my UCF boys. I think he has a couple picks against Phillip Rivers in this one.
No doubt. I think he's got a pick six in him for sure.
Yeah. Next matchup, Bills at Dolphins.
Come on.
Uh-oh. Come on.
Yeah.
Now.
No, I'm not even going to try. Is Tua starting?
No, we got Fitzmagic still.
So Fitzmagic, 3 picks? Yeah. Buffalo wins. Josh Allen throws 3 touchdowns, runs for 3 more, and he just obliterates the Dolphins.
Bills win big.
Bills win big. I'm sorry to say it. I'm not even.
I say about 3 touchdowns. I say one's going to go to my boy who just got drafted by the Bills. Good on you, Gabe Davis. I'm going to be watching this game.
There you
Hopefully you pull in a nice touchdown grab in your in your outing there in Miami, and then you can enjoy the South Beach afterwards.
Yeah. Just remember that we're only opening up 50% at bars, buddy.
So get in there quick.
So get in there quick.
Yep.
All right.
Just
next,
leave at halftime because the game's going to be over at halftime.
Pretty much. Next matchup we got the San Francisco 49ers at the New York Jets. And also the Los Angeles Rams. That's going to be hard for me to say a few times. At the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, Kev, who you got with Niners or Jets? Both.
Niners big. Niners big in this one, yes. Le'Veon Bell will keep it close in the first quarter. Second quarter, maybe, but 49ers, way too stout on defense. They're just going to run away with this one.
I agree.
I'm not keen on Jimmy G, though. Like, yes, they're going to win against the Jets, and obviously you should win against the Jets, but Jimmy G is not impressing me at all.
Mm-hmm. No, you know what? I'm gonna say Niners in this one too, but it's gonna be closer than you think. No George Kittle, no Deebo Samuel for the Niners.
Yeah, I think
they're going to rely.
Debo's on IR.
Yeah, Debo's on IR, and George Kittle's I think out.
Coming week 3.
Week. Yeah,
he's out this week. They said week 3 return for Kittle, but I still think. I mean, you're playing the Jets. Come on now.
Yeah.
I don't think... Don't you really want that coach back from the Jets? Didn't he do wonders down there in Miami?
Oh yeah, he was phenomenal. What was his name? Exactly. All right,
Chris would love to have his input on the next one. Rams at Eagles.
All right, I'm gonna channel my inner Chris, and of course the Eagles are gonna win. Carson Wentz throws for 5 touchdowns. I have to say this is going to be a tough matchup, but boys, Eagles and Rams. I actually do like the Eagles in this, only because I'm not convinced that the Rams are going to do what they need to do. I think Carson Wentz does throw a couple touchdowns to Ertz and to Goodart. They do 2 tight end sets as wideouts, and they spread the ball around a little bit. And Miles Sanders will be back, and he will be the X factor, and the Eagles do get a win.
Ooh, really? Eagles. Surprise pick right there out of you. I'm going to go with the Rams on this one. I think Jalen Ramsey has a pick, not a pick 6. I think he has a pick in this one. I think Goff just does enough to kind of get over the hump, and I think they go into the link and take this one over the Eagles. I think Carson Wentz, I don't know. Maybe goes down with the injury in this one, and Eagles have to scramble for a savior, another Nick Foles.
There you go.
Chris is probably texting me right now on that one.
He might text you on that one. I let him know. I let him know already, though. I let him know. I go, don't worry about it. I picked the Eagles for you, and I flexed.
If I was in Philly, they'd be throwing batteries at me right now.
Yeah, probably. Or snowballs if they had them.
Yeah.
All right, who we got next? We got the Denver Broncos at Pittsburgh, and then we also have the Carolina Panthers at Bradytown with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I laugh on that one because Bradytown looked abysmal last weekend.
They looked freaking awful, man. They looked awful.
Best. I'm at this bar and grill last weekend. Phenomenal. They're in Fernandina Beach. We're eating fantastic wings. And all these Tampa Bay Bucks fans come in, rolling in about 4 o'clock. And I'm sitting there with my wife. I was like, this is going to be interesting. Brady starts throwing those interceptions, and I am just laughing. And they're just like, what happened? Like, we're supposed to be like a Super Bowl winning team, and all of a sudden it's going down the drains.
Oh, man, it doesn't look good. I'll tell you what. I don't know about you, but I got in that matchup, I'm leaning towards the Carolina Panthers. I am. I think Tampa Bay goes down 0-2. Brady loses again.
Yep.
Carolina comes through. I like the addition that they have, man. I like, their QB right now. I think it's a smart move of who they got. I think McCaffrey is just on next level. He can catch out of the backfield. He can run. And you know what? Carolina's defense is sneaky good. And I think they put Brady down a couple times.
Yeah. As much as I would like to say Panthers in this one. I'm going to go with the Bucks at home. They even it back up to 500 at 1-1. I think the X factor in this game is going to be Gronkowski. I think they're going to utilize him a little bit more than they did in week 1. And I think on your short down yardage and close to the goal line situations, you're going to see a lot more usage out of Leonard Fournette. So I think the Bucks take this one, but it's going to be close. It's going to be about a 7-point game.
Yeah, who you got with Broncos Steelers, Kev?
I got the Steelers on this matchup just because they're playing in Heinz Field. Granted, they don't have any fans in the stadium, but I think that's a tough trek for Broncos going across the nation. I don't see it with the Broncos taking on Roethlisberger. I think Roethlisberger still has a little bit of gas in the tank. We saw that on Monday night. He's got a great weapon in Juju. So I think that combo starts to light up the scoreboard against the Broncos. So I foresee like a 14, 17-point win there for the Steelers.
For sure. I think the Steelers are sneaky good this year. I think you throw in that Roethlisberger is healthy, and he's not just slinging it, he's managing it well. So it's not just about that. He's utilizing his 3 receiver sets. He's not just picking one. He's not just focusing on Juju. No. He's got James Washington there. He's got this rookie Deontay Johnson in there in the slot.
Yes. Yep.
He's got a great tight end. He's, using his check down backs. I mean, he distributed very, very well. And they have, second to the Dallas Cowboys, the best offensive line in football, my opinion.
Yes.
And, they've always been good, but they've had shaky spots where you could attack from one side or the other. But other than the Dallas Cowboys, the best offensive line is the best Pittsburgh Steelers, in my opinion. And you give Roethlisberger that much time, not only is he hard to bring down, he's going to just sit back there and just pick his spots.
Pick you apart. And he's got way too much experience to let him do that to you. That's somebody who's aged well in the NFL. Phillip Rivers not aging too well, and that's why you see the troubles there in the Colts. And the Colts are keeping him upright. That's another offensive line you got to throw into that mix.
True.
You just said, because the Colts have a stout defensive line. But yeah, you have Roethlisberger that knows the league. He's been in there forever, and I think he has enough, like I said, gas in the tank to kind of get him over the hump, which moves us on to our 4:00 matchups. The Washington football team, surprise winners over the Philadelphia Eagles last week, and they are on the top of the NFC East. Who would have even thought that? A team without a mascot beating the EAGLES Eagles. They are at Arizona this weekend. Who you got in that matchup?
You know what, man? I do have to say the Washington Football Club. And is it Washington Football Team or club?
Team.
It's team. See, You know what? I'm a soccer fan and I'm a rugby fan. So they are the Washington Football Club to me. Because that sounds better. I think that sounds better.
Yeah.
I like them. I like what they're doing. But I got to say their defense is phenomenal. But they have not been able to contain a running QB. And Kyler Murray, he is going to go off on this game. He's going to roll out of the pocket. The Arizona offense is going to have him moving. They're not going to let him just sit there. He's going to have a big game. So I like Arizona. I think they're a division-winning team. Whether it's Chase Edmonds running it or anybody else running it, they got a solid squad. And Kyler Murray's going to take a big leap into this NFL. I mean, he was great last week. He's going to be great again. It's going to be him and Lamar Jackson for MVP at the end of the year, I think. I mean,
if you have
too good.
Kyler Murray on your fantasy, you should be smiling with today's matchup because, like George
lock
said,
him in.
He's going to be running wild. I think he has close to 100 yards rushing in this game from the quarterback spot.
Nice.
I think he's going to pass all over Washington. Dwayne Haskins, again, we kind of don't know who Haskins is. I mean, he had such a roller coaster last year. This year he comes out and beats the Eagles, but I don't know. It's up and down with him. I don't like to root for him just because the college he came from. But yes, I foresee Arizona winning by 10 in this matchup. This brings us to our 425 matchups. We got the Chiefs taking on the Chargers and the Ravens taking on the Texans. Who you got in the first one? Chiefs at Chargers.
I gotta say, we got some good matchups here. Almost all teams here are undefeated except for Houston, but they're all very, very good teams. These afternoon matchups are solid to look at. It's gonna be the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to flirt with the idea of going undefeated this year.
Ooh, bold.
Okay. Yes.
Bold statement.
Bold statement. But I looked at their schedule, man. Who do they have to who do they play? Nobody.
Yeah.
Like their schedule. Their schedule's pretty damn
today, though.
It's going to be a tough matchup.
You're facing Bosa, and most people think this is going to be an easy win by the Chiefs. Go out there to the new stadium. I'm excited to kind of see the stadium. I wish it was packed full of fans, but I'm kind of excited to see SoFi Stadium there in Inglewood. $1 billion stadium.
It looks phenomenal. It looks so cool. It really does. And man, does it hurt that no fans are able to go. I understandably, it makes sense. You know,
Mahomes
we gotta
better watch out tonight, though, or today is Bosa's going to have him running.
Oh yeah, no, there's no question about that. Mahomes better think quick.
Yes.
Quick decisions. Don't worry about it. But he's a student of the game. He knows Bosa's coming.
Yep.
He's got to know. He's not Phillip Rivers. He knows Bosa.
Dump it off to the cheetah and let the cheetah run.
Exactly.
I think the Chiefs take it, but I think it's going to be close. I think this is going to be like a 7-point matchup on this one.
This might be their toughest matchup, to be honest. This might be their toughest matchup. Ravens and Houston, the Texans, they do not deserve a win with the way Bill O'Brien coaches and manages that team.
Getting rid of all your top players.
Yeah,
it sounds like Jacksonville.
Yeah, let's just get rid of everybody and still win. Sorry to say. Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's gonna have a huge game, and he's gonna dismantle this Houston Texans D that is just aging. J.J. Watt is no longer much of a factor. That they're just getting old, in my opinion, and that's it.
Yeah, Ravens big in this one. Houston Texans go down 0-2 in the division. So the Jags should be smiling after this weekend if they can go up to Nashville and produce good results.
There you go.
Brings us to our night matchup. The Patriots are underdogs at CenturyLink Field, take on the Seattle Seahawks. Pete Carroll's Hawks. Who you got in this matchup? Patriots at Hawks.
I really do. I have Seattle. I got the Hawks, man. Seattle is a very, very talented team right now. Russell Wilson is just playing to next level. I think he's going to be an X factor in this game. Mm-hmm. And, DK Metcalf. This dude is a unit, man.
Yeah.
Have you seen this dude? Like everybody, he is huge. He's an absolute unit. I mean, I can't say enough about this dude. He's disgusting.
You know what I'm so impressed about with his size is when that ball is in the air from Russell Wilson, it's going to be in the right spot from a quarterback like him. And the way he can adjust his body while that ball's in the air is incredible. Mm-hmm. You're talking about a dude who's got like 30, 40 pounds of muscle on him, if not more. And to adjust his body in the air like he does to find the football is incredible to watch. But here's the downside on this. It's a CenturyLink Field with no fans in. So they do not have the X factor being their 12th man like they pride themselves on. Mm-hmm. And Patriots are underdogs, which I know is going to piss Bill Belichick off a little bit. Cam Newton is already a pissed off quarterback. I think the Patriots go in there and knock off the Seahawks by 3.
That's the upset. It's going to be a
winning field goal there.
That's an upset right there.
Yeah, that's my upset pick of the week.
Bill Belichick is a genius. It doesn't matter who you have back there. They're going to be a very well coached team.
Yeah. So
there's no
Pete
question
Carroll,
about that. But exactly, so is Pete Carroll, and so that's where I give the edge. It's made for a matchup, whether it was Brady or Newton or Wilson, it doesn't matter. You put all those pieces together, you're talking Seahawks, Patriots on Sunday Night Football. It's going to be an awesome night to watch. I'll be there with my whiskey on ice watching that game for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited for that matchup.
So, I mean, that's just going to be one heck of a matchup. You can't go wrong there. But I give it to Seattle, man. Russell Wilson is going to have himself a year. Now, we move over to tomorrow night because you know what? Thursday, football. Saturday, college football. Sunday, football. Got to have Monday night. 50 years of Monday Night Football, ladies and gentlemen. That is awesome. And what a way to do it with the New Orleans Saints at the Las Vegas Raiders.
Money City with Gruden there. I think
I'm gonna tell you right now, my pick is the Raiders. I am picking the Las Vegas Raiders. That is my upset. And it goes off of the Vegas mentality. Have you heard about this team? The Vegas Golden Knights, expansion team, multiple playoffs appearances, one of the best teams in the league. Oh, I don't know. They've been around for 3 years.
You think there's a little bit of magic there in Vegas?
I think there's a little bit of, coin slot machine magic. I don't know. Bet on black, as they say. And I think the Las Vegas Raiders, they're feeling themselves. Derek Carr is a lot better of a quarterback than people give him credit for. He can throw the ball downfield. He knows how to manage the game. Give him a system that he can work with and give him a chance to learn the system. Boom. He can be successful. And I think what it comes down to is, hey, there's no other way to say it, but manage that game and Gruden will put him in a very good position. Josh Jacobs is a disgusting running back, and he's only in his second year. He's going to run all over that New Orleans D. It's going to be one heck of a game, though. Let's not forget, New Orleans has Alvin Kamara, but they're missing Michael Thomas this week, and that is going to be the X factor.
They are missing Thomas, but Breeze, I'm betting on Breeze in this one. Not a betting man, but you should move your chips all the way to the Saints in this matchup. I think they're too powerful. We saw that last weekend against the New England Patriots, and I think Breeze keeps the momentum going. But I do think the Las Vegas Raiders keep this close. Again, a brand new stadium out there in the desert. I wish to have fans in there packing these new stadiums.
Oh, I know, man.
I can't wait to see this stadium, though, especially on Monday Night Football.
It's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be beautiful, yep.
All right, real quick, have to say it. Going to throw this up there really quick. Be sure to follow us at PCN Final Score on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, etc. We have reached 1,000 likes on Facebook. Thank you to all of our fans out there that have been watching. I'm thrilled to be a part of this. I'm like so excited. It's like I've been thrown into the fire here, and now I'm just, me and Kev are running through and doing a Final Score show. I love it. I love these boys. They do a phenomenal job with everything. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
We've been hustling.
We've been hustling. We've been hustling. Today has been a crazy morning, but you know what? I'm glad we are able to do so.
Figure out a way to bring the sports to the people.
Exactly. And you know what? Have a good, fun conversation about it. Real quick, the Jacksonville Rugby Football Club, one of our sponsors. We'd like to take the time to thank the Jacksonville Rugby Football Club and the Jacksonville Wolverines Youth Rugby for being a sponsor of Final Score and hitting those 1,000 likes. The Jacksonville Rugby Football Club is a Division II team and a member of the Florida Rugby Union. You can find the Jacksonville Rugby Football Club on Facebook at facebook.com/JAXRFC or on their website at jacksrugby.org. You can also find the Jacksonville Wolverines Youth Rugby team on Facebook at facebook.com/Jacksonville Youth Rugby. Get your kids out there playing some rugby. Get them playing some rugby. Get them playing some hockey. Get them playing some sports out there. My daughter's in dance, and man, let me tell you, she's a beast out there as well. She's playing. She's doing competitions. My son's out there doing karate and golf. And during this time, as parents, man, we got to get our kids out there and get them active.
Yep.
So be sure you do that. Check out Jacksonville's Youth Rugby on Facebook. Awesome.
I love that. Yep, I love that. Especially being a coach myself. Get the kids out, get them active, get them moving, get them out from behind that screen and get them out moving outdoors.
Especially with the virtual schooling, man. They're already many of us are already on the screen so much that it's good to get outside, get some exercise, all that stuff. I need to join Kevin Wathlin's, program a little bit more and lose some of this quarantine weight, man. I'm trying to get to it.
We accept everyone on that Wathan Fitness page. Yep.
Awesome, boys. Awesome. All right, let's get to it. What do we got next?
We got NBA playoffs update, Eastern Conference Finals. We got your Miami Heat taking on the Boston Celtics. Miami Heat, the surprise in this one, being the 5 seed, and they are in the Eastern Conference Finals and dominating the Eastern Conference Finals. They're up 2-1 in that series. Game 1, the Heat taking it 117-114 over the Celtics. Game 2, the Heat kind of running away with this one, 106-101. The score line's a little bit closer than that game was. Game 3, however, the Celtics winning big in that matchup, 117-106. And then we have Game 4 coming up. It is Celtics at the Heat, 8:30 on ESPN, September 23rd. So we're a few days away from that matchup. Who do you got in Game 4?
I got to say, I do have the Heat in Game 4, but I knew this was going to happen. This was bound to happen. The Celtics get Gordon Hayward back. Mm-hmm. They are deep. The Celtics are a phenomenal team. Let's not kid ourselves here. They, whether it's Tatum, whether it's Kemba, whether it's Hayward now, they are deep, and they have a pretty solid rotation. The Miami Heat are just deeper. Sorry to say it. The Miami Heat have the deepest team. We will wear you out. When you can play up to 10 to 12 guys, and have them all be effective, how on earth do you keep up with that? And on an endurance level.
They've really embraced this bubble situation there in
exactly.
Orlando.
And not to mention that their chemistry is great. The mere fact that Jimmy Butler can say that he doesn't feel like he needs to turn it on right away from the get-go as your best player, because he's out there distributing and he's getting Robinson involved, he gets Nunn involved, he gets Bam going, he gets Goran going, and all those guys can just, keep it within 10 points, and then Jimmy Butler turns it on.
Yep.
Give me a break, man. I say the Heat win Game 4, Celtics probably win 5, Heat close it out in Game 6.
That's what I was about to say. I say Heat in 6.
A little bit of back and forth. The Celtics they're not gonna go away quietly. They're too talented to do so. But I still have the Heat winning this series and going to the finals.
The only way the Celtics can surpass the Heat is if Hayward comes in and produces. If he doesn't produce, then the Celtics go down in Game 6. I do not foresee this going to a Game 7. I think the Heat are clicking. It was a little bit troubling seeing that 11-point win on Game 3. But like you said, I think the Heat have too much depth, and they're just going to run you off the court.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's my thing. I think they're just going to – too much depth, boys. Mm-hmm. So what we have next?
Western Conference Finals, Lakers, Denver. Game 1, the Lakers won huge, 126-114 over the Nuggets. We got our next matchup, which takes place tonight. The Nuggets taking on the Lakers at 7:30 p.m. on TNT and ESPN Radio. Who you got in Game 2?
I got to say it, man. I got the Lakers. I got the Lakers in this. I think the Lakers freaking sweep this series.
Yes.
I don't see Denver competing.
On this one.
I am completely agreeing with Barkley on this one. It's a terrible, terrible decision. But I got the Lakers on this. It's like LeBron is creating his own The Last Dance documentary. I feel like he watched it on repeat and is just taking every little book and every little quote. Giannis wins MVP. Oh, I'm mad now.
Mhm.
I was like, is this deja vu or something? Michael Jordan, Karl Malone wins MVP. Jordan goes off, beats him in the finals. The only difference is he's not going to play Giannis in the finals. He's going to play our Heat. So he's actually going to go up against the system that gave him this winning mentality and these championships. So I got the Lakers in 4. Denver is a surprise team, and they definitely nobody thought they'd be where they're at right now, and they're a solid squad. But the Lakers just have too much chemistry going for them in the bubble right now.
I say the Lakers not in 4. They don't get the sweep. I say the Lakers in 5. I think the Nuggets will pull out at least one in this matchup. But Lakers, I hate to say it, LeBron, he just got pissed off with the MVP voting. Giannis, you're not going to be with the Bucks next year.
Yeah.
I think he goes down to Miami actually.
Oh,
in the
man.
offseason.
I wouldn't be surprised, right?
Yeah.
Why not?
So, but no, Lakers in 5 in this matchup. So let's bring us to our next information. We got our content platforms everywhere you can find PCM Final Score and our Final Score episodes. Audio version, you can find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, Stitcher, Podbean, and Google Podcasts. Our video platform is always found on YouTube. All you have to do is keyword in Final Score, one word. Again, search keyword Final Score, one word, and you can find all our latest news, updates, all on that. Make sure you have subscribed to our YouTube channel, which brings us to yesterday's matchups. We got a little bit of college football action. The Big Ten.
That's right.
Set to return to play October 24th. What do you think about that?
You know, it's like it's a head scratcher. It's a head scratcher a little bit. I'm not sure I quite understand what is going on here with everything. Like, so how are you going to? It's I don't know, man. I'm losing my mind here. Taking my hat off. It's kind of one of those things, boys, where I'm just like, how are you going to now judge these teams in this bubble with this unusual schedule? You know what's going to happen when the playoffs starts creeping up. There's going to be some sort of controversy where a Pac-12 or a Big Ten team comes out of nowhere, goes undefeated, but they only played 8 games and their schedule is a little soft.
Yep.
And they're going to be like, well, but we're playing in this bubble and we're playing. Well, you know, man, I hate to break it to you. It's going to be weird. It's not going to make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, UM continues to have the season they're having, and they, you know, maybe, you know, surprise some people and run the table. What's next? You're going to say, oh, well, they didn't really play anybody. They didn't play Clemson.
Yeah. The Big Ten, I wish they didn't wait so long, and I wish they kind of sat back like the SEC did and did not make this decision as soon as they did when the presidents initially turned down returning back to play and said, we're not going to have a season, and hopefully everyone follows suit with us, which did not happen. And then they see everyone playing, hey, we're going to be left out. Harbaugh was big on orchestrating this. I think he's the one who finally got these presidents back to the drawing board, back to the table.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, Scott Frost out there in Nebraska, as much pushback as Nebraska had. Iowa as well joining the suit there with Nebraska saying we're not going to vote on striking down the season. But return to play, the only thing I foresee happening, it's a short schedule. You only have 8 games, and these guys are not going to catch a break. So you're going to have teams that have your bye weeks already set in from the SEC, from your American Conference, from all the ACC that are going to have the bye weeks, give a chance for players to rest. The Big Ten, I mean, they're going straight through 8 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to see. And if you have a player test positive in the Big Ten for coronavirus, you're out 3 weeks. So if you have somebody like Fields go down, you're out a quarterback for 3 weeks. That's going to be interesting.
That's big, man. That's big. Well, let's get to some college football scores. It is Sunday. Saturday was a big game. So let's go ahead and jump into a few scores as we were talking, all kinds of stuff when it comes to the Pac-10, the Pac-12, and the Big Ten, and it's in my opinion, it is a mess. But if some of these top teams continue to dominate the way they are, there won't be much of a conversation. It'll be the top 4 teams go undefeated, and they've dismantled through their schedule like Clemson did with a 49-0 rout. Notre Dame over South Florida, 52-0. I mean, just to give you an idea, UCF did come away with a big win. Congratulations, Kev.
Go Knights,
49-21. Miami also had a big game, as that was one of the only top 25 matchups where they are now ranked 17, defeating number 18, Louisville. We also, let's see, what else did we have? We had a few postponed games. I know BYU and Army got postponed, and Charlotte, North Carolina, due to weather, was postponed. Overall, what do you think is out of the top 25? Who are you looking at? Kev,
you already know who I'm looking at.
I know.
I'm looking at that number 14 UCF, Dylan Gabriel slinging 4 touchdowns over a
Let me
Georgia
see your
Tech
face.
team.
Let me see that reaction of yours. Oh, there it is. Yeah,
Yes.
he's excited.
I'm excited. Dylan Gabriel, 4 touchdowns in the win, 27 for 41 passing, 417 yards in the air. And that's on top of a rushing attack where Otis Anderson had 18 carries for 88 yards and 1 touchdown. Marlon Williams on the receiving end, 10 receptions, 154 yards, 2 touchdowns. Who stops this offense?
That's true.
Tell me that.
That's true.
Who stops this offense?
Wouldn't it be fun? Telling you, it's definitely a possibility. My top 4 teams to look at right now in college football: Clemson, of course.
Yes, you got to put them at the top.
Ohio State, Notre Dame, and UCF. Those are the top 4 that I like. I mean, hey, maybe it's an early prediction. It's really early because we don't even know what the heck's happening in the Pac-12 and the Big Ten completely. Still figuring all that out. But those are my top 4 for the early prediction playoff. Why not?
Yeah, I think UCF sneaks in there at the number 4 spot. Miami's going to keep climbing. I don't think Notre Dame. I think when they run into Clemson, they're going to get a taste of their own medicine there.
That's possible, yeah.
Every time the big lights come on for Notre Dame, they seem to collapse. Chris is going to be
nice to
furious.
Chris, man. Jeez. He's not even here. He's getting hit by lightning. And you guys, and he's not literally getting hit by lightning. Let's not scare our fans. But he's,
Clemson keeps rolling, but Clemson, come on now. Playing the Citadel? Really?
Yeah, no, it's going to be tough. I mean, it's going to be. That's a pretty easy matchup there. Yeah. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Let's talk real quick. Final Score is a proud member of Podcast City Network. podcastcity.net/FinalScore. PCN is your home for up-and-coming independent podcasts. You can find us on the social and the websites, facebook.com/Podcast City Network. You can also see us on YouTube. Search keyword Podcast City Network, website podcastcity.net, and our Twitter at podcastcitynet. So be sure to check out all those things and join the PCN family. That's the next thing we got to talk about, boys. Kev, you want to take this one away?
Yep, I got you. We offer an array of membership services, including logo design and branding, social media advertising, live podcast hosting, and much, much more. You can also gain access to our network of shows to help with our cross-promotion, guest, and overall reach, while also becoming part of our ever-expanding PCN community based on people helping people. The best part is no membership fee. So what are you waiting for? Go to podcastcity.net/join now and join the fastest growing independent podcast network around, Podcast City Network. Which brings us into our next segment, Give or Go.
Ooh,
what do you think? Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James sets record with 16th selection to All-NBA team. Give or go?
Let's go ahead and give. You going to give? You want to give? You want to go? I'm gonna.
I don't even like giving. Every time I see LeBron James, it just irks me on here.
You know what, man? I'm gonna tell you what. I am going to just say, simply put, congratulations, LeBron James. Sets a record, was the 16th selection to an All NBA team. But guess what? You came in second in the MVP voting.
Giannis, Greek freak.
So, let that be the thing that you worry about. Let the championships be the thing that you need to worry about. Because, you keep trying to say that you're better than Jordan, but you're not. So how about you just focus on that, LeBron? Next give and go, the MLB and the MLBPA release playoff bubble plan for the 2020 playoffs. Kev,
Manfred should have done this from the start. He seems like a moron on this. MLB should have, instead of all these postponements that they've had, do this from the start like the NBA did, and you're going to have a much more successful season. Viewership for the MLB has been way down this season. And I don't know. I'm not interested in the baseball like I have been in years past. I'm usually a huge Tigers fan, watching all the games, even watching the 1 o'clock matchups. But this season, I've just been tuning it off because there's much better sports to watch, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you, man. This should have been done a long time ago. This should have been done for the regular season. Give me a break. Look how successful the NHL, the NBA have been because of the bubbles. Yes, there was only playoffs and not a full regular season, but even football has the ability to create its own little bubbles at their stadiums because they're only playing once a week, right? So that has that opportunity. But forget it. The MLB should have done this a long ass time ago. There's too many teams, too many games. And, this is kind of like a little too late, or what do you call it? Too little, too late kind of scenario. Yeah, exactly. Too little, too late kind of scenario. And when somebody said, hey, you watching the Marlins? They're playing really good. Who?
Yeah, I'm completely tuned off as a baseball fan this season.
Absolutely.
Hopefully next year we get it back to normal.
Let's get to the next one. Go for it, Kev. What do we got?
LA Clippers have epic collapse against the Denver Nuggets after leading 3-1. They thought bringing in Kawhi and Paul George were going to be the factor there in LA, and they end up collapsing to the Nuggets. What do you think on that?
I'm going to give on this. I'm going to say the Clippers needed this to happen. They needed to figure out what it feels like. They need some kind of adversity, some kind of kick in the gut, so they can come back next year and prove that they are one of the most talented teams.
Are they going to be together next year, though?
I say yes. I say yes, they are going to be together. They're not going to go out like this. They will still be a team. Everybody stays where they're at. Maybe they add a shooter here or there, to try to complement Kawhi and complement Paul George. But it's one of those things where this is a franchise that has been notoriously down. They've never had much success. And that is the black cloud that is hanging over these players. So they needed to deal with this kind of adversity, get kicked in the gut so they can come back next year and, make some noise. Unfortunately, I see them making the Western Conference Finals, but I don't really see them winning a title. And it's because of the other teams around them.
With Paul George.
Other teams around them are just better. So I just don't see it happening. Alrighty.
Yeah. Paul George is not our playoff, whatever that nickname they go into with him is.
No.
Yeah, no.
He is not. He is not. All right, Kev. We got Podchaser. Let's go and give them a shout out. I will go ahead and grab this one for you, bud.
Thank you.
Podchaser, your daily source for podcast discovery. Apple Podcasts is no longer the only credible place to rate and review podcasts. Follow creators, browse every podcast ever, and rate and review episodes. Check out podchaser.com and search keyword FinalScore, one word. Follow, rate, and review us. It's been a crazy day today, so I want to thank all of our fans for sticking with us and appreciating it, commenting, following, etc. We hit 1,000 Facebook likes, which is a huge boost. The lightning strike and the Stanley Cup finals, it just threw everything for a loop. But you know what? We made it through. We got through. Let's take a look at the week ahead. You know, we got, episode 4 of Double Dime tomorrow night for the latest on Forex and sports investing. Just search at Fixed Edged on Twitter/Periscope to watch live. We also have the rugby review upcoming week. Kev, anything you want to add in before we head out?
I'm going to put a call out there to all my Rabbitohs fans. Hang in there. I know we lost a tough one against the Bulldogs. That was a tough pill to swallow, but hopefully we can bounce back against our arch nemesis, our rivals, the Sydney Roosters. So we're going to check in live on that. I believe that game kicks off on Friday. Remember, this is the last round of NRL action before we get to the playoffs. So I'll be bringing you all that news. And then I'll also have details on the USARL on that matchup that's going to take place in Jacksonville in the coming weeks.
Awesome, man. Good to have. Be sure to tune in next week for episode 74, next Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern on Facebook Live. Hopefully, no more lightning. We get some good weather here, and we don't have any kind of tech issues. But I want to thank everybody for sticking with us despite all the tech issues. It happens. What can I say? It is rolling with the punches, but you know what, man? We're a team, and we figure it out together. So thank you all for joining Final Score Live. Have a good one. Go enjoy some wings and some beer and some football.
Sounds good. See you later, George. Have a good night.
Take it. You too, Kev. See ya.
Podcast City Network.